and welcome back to Reading the Decades with me. A very happy and blessed second Advent. And also happy Nikolaus Day for all of you who celebrate. And welcome to my December and Christmas TBR. The Advent time this year is very different to all the years before. I'm a massive Christmas fan. I'm always jolly and cheerful, or the jolliest and most cheerful in December, and against what I usually read all year long in December, I absolutely love kitschy Christmas romance novels. But this year, lots of those things are not possible, and also I do not feel in the mood for it at all. I'm not in the mood to read about the contemporary world. I'm not in the mood for kitschy, lovely romance novels that take place over the Christmas time, where all the Christmas preparations are possible. And this year I'm prepared for a more quiet Christmas and Christmas time. This is also reflected obviously in my December TBR and my Christmas reading in general. It is a lot more traditional and academic this year than all the years before. So let's start with the first book. This is A Literary Christmas by the British Library, and this is filled with lots and lots of stories and poems by traditional classic English speaking authors. It also has a lot of illustrations in here. Like, it starts already right in the beginning with beautiful full page illustrations, and then throughout the book you also have like those smaller ones. And the book, or the stories and the poems in this book, are also divided into different themes that are quite interesting. So we have the usual, like Before Christmas, and then A Child's Christmas, Seasonal Stoned Eyes, and the New Year. So this book goes beyond Christmas itself. But what is really interesting is that we also have a section about Christmas at War, which I have never seen in any book before or talked about anywhere. So I think this is going to be a very, very interesting read. The next book, as you can see, is absolutely massive. It is a German Christmas book which collects text from the past 5 centuries, only of German-speaking authors. In this collection we have very, very traditional and also religious texts. They are from the Bible and other devotional pieces. So this book is definitely a lot more quiet and traditional and devotional than lots of Christmas reading I've done before. This book definitely speaks to my German soul, and I'm at the moment trying to rediscover my Germanness through literature and in literature. And lots of the texts in this book are also extremely nostalgic for me, because obviously I grew up with them. They were always in my life. I've read them from a very, very young age. So this is really interesting to reread lots of those texts that I grew up with. This is so big. It has over 600 pages and I'm so excited for it. And it is a very, very special Christmas book, and I hope I will keep this book for life and reread it every December to come. And also it has a fantastic illustration by the Swedish painter Carl Larsson on it, and Carl Larsson is one of my favourite artists. The next book is a short academic text. It is called Christmas Books for Children by Eugene Giddens. This book looks at the history of children's Christmas books and its publishing market, as well as trends and influences. I already started this one and it is super, super interesting. It is right up my alley from what I like, what I'm interested in, and yeah, I can highly recommend this if you want to read something academic over the Christmas period. Then another smaller book I have is A Tutor Christmas by Alison Weir and Siobhan Clarke. This is a historical read about the 12 days of Christmas celebrated during the Tudor period. I'm not sure yet if I read this book according to each day or before Christmas, but it looks absolutely pretty. It's going to be a short read, and I also learned something from it. So it's a little history book, again about the history of Christmas. And another book that I've already started by a Swedish author, but I couldn't find it in the Swedish original, so I got a German translation, and it is Legends of Christ by Selma Lagerlöf. Maybe you know Selma Lagerlöf because of her Niels Holgersson story that is very popular and probably the most or the best well known by this author. This book is quite short as well. As I said, I already started it. I have a bit of difficulties. Obviously it reads extremely dated and it has lots of problematic aspects in it which I'm not a fan of, which also made me put it down at a point. I think I'm going to pick it up again and read the other stories in here. It is interesting, but it also makes me feel uncomfortable in parts when reading this. And also this December I hope to reread another Jane Austen book over the Christmas time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to reread a Famous Five book or another Enid Blyton book, because that is just what I do or what I like to do each Christmas. And at the moment I started a fantasy book, which is quite uncommon for me as well, but I'm very much looking for escapism at the moment. So that's it, that's my December and Christmas reading settled for this year. A lot more traditional, a lot more quiet, a lot more devotional, a lot more historical and a lot more academic than all the years before. This reading is very different, but not so different from what I usually read throughout the year. This year is a very different one, this Christmas is a very different one. And I don't know yet what to expect, and I don't know yet how to approach this season, although we're already halfway into it. I hope you have a lovely Sunday. I'll see you soon. Happy reading.